healthcare is the major concern as you get older. And in the last few years, especially last year, we focused on enhancing support for the elderly in healthcare in a very significant way. The Pioneer Generation Package, which is regardless of what income group you are, plus the significant increase in healthcare subsidies for the low and middle income group, was our first strategy to help the low income group. We focused on healthcare first and foremost. This year, we're adding on to it silver support. So you really got to look at silver support together with what we did in healthcare, both for the special Pioneer Generation, as well as the continuing subsidies in future for the low and middle income group. Healthcare is a critical strategy for helping our elderly, our Singaporean elderly. Silver support, I have to emphasize, just like our healthcare subsidies, is permanent. It's not just a one-off scheme, it's permanent. It's a strengthening of our social security system. And it will have to be funded from our budget. And I think we're starting off at a very strong footing and with rules written into the Constitution to make sure that a government will always be well prepared for the spending needs that come. When it comes to silver support, I can tell you that it's a much smaller cost compared to our healthcare budget, and the big driver of future budgets, especially beyond this decade, the big driver is going to be healthcare as the baby boomers move into retirement. That's going to be the big driver of costs, not so much silver support. And we'll have to make sure, as before, that we have the revenues to meet this need. But this is an important social need. It's an important social need. We do have to support our elderly as they get older, particularly the lower income group, and to some extent the middle income group. And we'll have to make sure we've got the revenues for that. It's the right thing to do. $300 to $750 every 3 months is, there's no science behind it. It's a matter of judgment. But it's trying to find the right balance between having a meaningful top-up to your income, modest but meaningful, and at the same time, not reducing the importance of family support. And that's critical, because when you take workfare and silver support together, both of them aim to support the values that Singaporeans believe in. Singaporeans believe in work, they believe in family support. We don't have unemployment insurance, at least not on a long-term basis. Short-term, we've got various support systems. But instead of unemployment insurance, we give you a top-up of your wages when you get a job, no matter how simple the job is and no matter what your pay is, no matter how low the pay is. 20 to 30% of workers get workfare, but it's rewarding work. It's rewarding work. When we give you a housing grant so that a low-income family can buy a house, it's also rewarding work because they pay off the loan using their CPF. So, strengthening the values that underpin our society and that Singaporeans feel are important is very important in the way we go about supporting people. It's never pure cash. So silver support has to be a system which supplements what the family is providing for their elderly, for their parents, and supplements what the individual himself or herself had earned and saved for the future. Otherwise, if we get generous too quickly, you'll find that it erodes the values that are important, as has happened in many societies, So we should do this step by step in the right measure, and I think the sums that we're talking about today, every 3 months, 300 to 750, if you talk about it for a couple, it's not a small sum for a retired couple. For the lowest tier, $750 means $1,500 every 3 months. Not a small sum, as a supplement to their other sources of support and income from their children, from their sometimes renting out a room in the flat, and so on and so forth.